Hey, how's it going, everybody? Let me know if you guys can hear me pretty well, just because today I decided to live stream from my laptop rather than the PC. So I am in fact using the Pixelbud Go along with my Pixel Buds for my wireless mic. And yeah, I just thought I would just talk with everyone. Hello, Gene. What's going on, man? How you doing this morning? I figured I would just, chat it up with everybody this morning. Nothing too in particular, um, like subject wise or tech or any of that type of stuff. Just uh, it's weird because I gotta remember which mouse I'm touching because one mouse for my PC, the other one for my Pixelbook. Um, so that way I don't accidentally like grab the wrong mouse and wonder, wait, what's going on here? Why is it my things going on my screen? And then I'm using the wrong mouse, So let me know, Gene, real quick, if you can hear me clearly, and yeah, if the microphones from the Pixel Buds are working good. That's how my setup is right now, right? So I'm using the Pixelbook Go and its built-in camera, and I'm using the Pixel Buds for my microphone, and yeah. It's 10:14 a.m. where you are, so you are 3 hours ahead of me. It is 7:13 a.m. here. I'm waiting for my Pixel 7a to charge up so then I can update it to Android 16 and do some review videos on it. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you letting me know. But yeah, you're on your iPad? Sweet. What type of iPad do you have? Like, which generation? I was thinking about getting me an iPad, but then I realized the one thing that's missing out of my Pixel ecosystem is a Pixel tablet. And so in about a week, this guy has a shop here, and it's like a pawn shop. And somebody forfeited their Pixel tablet, and I don't know how like the laws are in different states when it comes to pawn shops, but like here, if you do a loan, if you're a pawn shop broker and you do a loan on on someone's collateral, and say like, the payment amount, which obviously you have to make something off of the deal, right? So let's say like you loan somebody $100 for their tablet. To get the tablet back after 90 days, it's $135. Then if the person like forfeits it, the shop cannot raise the price. They cannot go and say, okay, the guy forfeited his collateral, so we're gonna sell it for $200. Like they can't do that. If they get audited, they can get a heavy fine here for some reason. So yeah, someone forfeited their Pixel tablet, literally in new condition. The guy showed me a video of it, of the tablet and the box and everything, because it was in its original box. And so I already agreed to the guy that I'm going to grab the Pixel tablet off of him for $135. Sadly, it doesn't have the docking speaker, but it's it's still a pretty good deal considering the Pixel tablet's still selling for like $399. Some places on sale for $349. So the iPad A16, the large one. I never heard of that one. Yours is in blue? A16. No, let me look it up. What's up, Tim? What's going on? Oh, okay. I know which one it is right now. I see it. Yeah, so it's the newest one, and this one came out in 2025, right? Gene, yours is like it's like a pastel blue color, 11-inch iPad, which has an A16 chip, I believe, in it. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Yeah, I see that. It's the newest one on AT&T. Banned USA, banned YouTube USA app. Why? So what do you mean by banned YouTube USA? I don't understand. Ah, that's a nice looking iPad, man. Nice. Is yours a 128 gig model? You just bought a Galaxy S25 Plus from AT&T? Nice. I haven't really had anyone tell me if they got the S25 Edge. That's a phone that I went to go look at, and by all means, yeah, it's a very thin phone, but it's not for me. It's not for me, but it is cool though. It is cool that it exists. Some people always question that. They're always like, "Why does this exist?" What's the point of a thinner phone, and yada yada yada. I mean, that seems like that's the direction that like all smartphones are going, right? They're all trying to go thinner. We're switching away from lithium ion batteries to what's it? I forgot what it's called. There's silicon carbonate batteries, I believe. I could be wrong. I could have totally butchered that. But anyways, smaller battery with larger capacity is where we're going, right? With battery technology, and so it's going to be pretty cool. In the future, that we're going to have thinner phones with larger capacities, right? We're at a point right now where we don't really need. We don't really need, but we need to move in higher battery capacities. We've kind of been stuck in that between 3,000 to 4,000 milliamps for years. Time to be able to have smartphones with batteries that have 7,000 milliamps, 8,000 milliamps. So you have a Navy 256 gig version of the S25 Plus. Excuse me. That's pretty cool. That is awesome. That is, yeah. I'm a Pixel guy, if that hasn't been apparent to a lot of people. It's just what I prefer and enjoy to use, right? So, that's just my thing. But there's only so much tech that people can talk nowadays. There's not I mean, I guess that's why like I'm reflecting on YouTube and the journey that I've taken, on this pathway, the goods, the bads, because while there were some ups, you have ups, you also have a lot of downs too. You have a lot of downs. I know I'm not the only one facing these downs. Like I look at various different other creators. I look at how they're doing video wise, right? And so I can say that it's not just my channel that's affected. There's a lot of people in this tech space. I did watch Saturday Night Main Event. I did watch it. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. And there's not really a topic to this live stream, Gene. Don't worry about, just asking a question, man. It's all good. I'm just hanging out with you guys for a little bit, getting some stuff done here, messing around with AI, working on my game that I'm developing. And I just thought I would hop on a live stream. I haven't done one in a while. And I really didn't have a topic to discuss today. I just wanted to, chat with anybody in the wind that came across my live stream and decided to have a conversation. As far as Saturday night main events, I thought it was pretty good. I love the fact that I love who was it John Cena versus Ron Cena. I love that match. That match to me was pretty cool. The fact that John Cena ran in on Logan Paul and you know Jey Uso's match. Honestly, that could be like a pivotal turning point where they could actually flip Logan as a face based on that if they have him feud with John Cena. But I wouldn't want Logan Paul to be the one to take the belt off John Cena if that makes any sense. Bobby Warren, what's up, man? How's it going? How's it going? How are you doing today? Happy Tuesday. You hated which Cena segment when he ran in on Jey Uso, or when him and Jey Uso had dialogue backstage, or his match with R-Truth? Which one did you hate? Yeah, it's weird how Saturday Night Main Event is like an every couple of month thing, right? So it's not a weekly thing. It's not a monthly thing. It's like every 2 months. I still do. It's right there. So both my routers are right there. I have the T-Mobile home internet here. I have the AT&T Air home internet next to it. I have two different internet services. All of them. John Cena must really have pissed you off going heel, huh? I mean, I know some fans are upset that he's gone heel, but to be quite honest with you, if you really are paying attention to wrestling, right? If you really are paying attention to wrestling, then you would notice that a lot of the fans are cheering for the heels and booing the faces, right? I mean, even at WrestleMania this year when John Cena went up against Cody Rhodes, if you didn't really hear it closely, and I know it's hard to hear it because WWE does a fine work in masking audio sounds, but if you did listen closely, you could hear the fans were booing Cody Rhodes. That's why John Cena is, he's trying to take that and he's trying to use that against the fans. Like when he was talking about what he said, when he cuts his promos before he started to have that small feud with Randy Orton. He said, that you guys don't know what you guys want. Like you guys boo me and then you guys cheer for me and you boo Cody, and it was like, yeah, these days a lot of the younger fans sympathize with the heels and dislike the faces in the company. So this would have been perfect for the Attitude Era, because the Attitude Era, the heels had the championships more times than the faces did, right? They always had a heel. He always had a good title run, like an 8-month title run to a year title run. And then a face takes the championship off the heel and the face is champion for like 6 to 7 months and it drops the belt to another heel, or they use that as a position to have another face challenge for the title. And then that person who's a face that's challenging for the title gets the title match, loses, and then turns heel and gets a rematch and either loses or wins at that point. So, oh yeah, that's old news, man. They bought AAA, which is why they have that now the catalog and partnership with Lucha Underground. I mean, when it comes to WWE, I'm more interested in actually, what's going to happen with Seth Rollins' new faction, right? You have Seth Rollins, who is the main guy again, now with Paul Heyman as his wise man, and then you have Braun Breaker, as an enforcer, sort of. But then you also have Bronson Reed now, who's part of his little collective group. So it's turning out to be very interesting. Seth Rollins qualifies for Money in the Bank, gets GTS by Punk, while Bronson and Braun are outside. And so I don't know if they're gonna push Bronson and Braun as a tag team and have them go after the tag team belts. But then again, you have the New Day as the tag team champions and they're heels. So I mean, I more or less don't know what's going to happen with that. SmackDown, we saw the return of the Wyatt Six, which on the Deathlock podcast with B-Tech a week ago, I discussed that, how I was upset with how they were being booked and used, and I wanted them to go heel. I wanted the Wyatt Six to go heel, and we don't know. We don't know if they're heel or not when it comes to WWE. We don't know because they did attack the tag team division on SmackDown, but they never really solidified who their target was, and all that other stuff. So. In-ring ability, Seth is great. As a person, I'm not really a fan of Seth. Yeah, I mean they are a nice couple. But Seth's real life beef with Phil, to me, it's just a little ridiculous. A little ridiculous. The way that that it all went down, because the feud between CM Punk and Seth Rollins, for TV is for TV, but a lot of the things that they are throwing jabs at each other when they cut their promos, that's, I guess you could say, real feelings. It's kind of like the Matt Hardy and the Edge situation, right? When Lita cheated on Matt with Edge in real life, and their personal drama spilled over into WWE talk shows, and eventually, Vince McMahon turned a real life situation into magic when they had Matt and Edge Hell in a Cell. Right, so the ongoing beef is not anything written up by WWE writers between Phil and Seth. It's not a scripted thing. These are real feelings they have. And honestly, for a guy like Seth Rollins, you may have towed the company line, and you may have been one of the workhorses in the company. That still doesn't give you the right to try to blacklist another wrestler. I don't know what it is with these wrestlers that have such inflated egos, where they feel like that the company belongs to them, and so because they put in hard work, they have a say as what talent can be signed. The story between Paul Levesque and Phil Brooks, when they had their conversation about bringing Phil back to WWE, that's a very good a very good story to listen to. If you find it on YouTube, Gene, I would say go ahead and find that video and listen to what Paul Levesque had to say. It's a really good way to close out a lot of the animosity that Phil Brooks had with WWE, and they're not going to sugarcoat anything, right? Obviously, after Phil's stint in AEW and all the drama that happened over there really was only one place for Phil Brooks to go if he wanted to stay and maintain himself as a professional wrestler. He had no choice but to go back to WWE, because he could have gone to TNA. I don't think that was going to be a good fit for him. Obviously, moving him to Ring of Honor wouldn't have been a good thing, because that still puts him in junction with a lot of the people in AEW that he had problems with. So, his only real place to go was WWE. That was all where he could go. So, they're going to do WrestleMania in Vegas again? WrestleMania 42 is going to Las Vegas. Why? That doesn't make sense. WrestleMania used to they moved it. Why? Because it was supposed to be in New Orleans. revenue. So they're keeping it in Las Vegas because of money. Jesus. Oh no, I'm reading really quickly as what this has to do with. It has to do with money. So they're figuring they'll get bigger revenue for WrestleMania being in Las Vegas than they will if WrestleMania was in New Orleans. I was like, okay. Brandon messaging me. I guess there was some sort of outage on T-Mobile, so he's checking if the line that he gave me is working. Oh, do a quick speed test. Yeah, it's working. My Pixel 8a is running the T-Mobile line. But anyways, getting back on topic. I mean, I've been on YouTube for so many years. I've had a lot of ups, I've had a lot of downs. I've tried different things that failed, a lot of things that failed. I tried things that worked. I guess if I'm being honest, I want to get more out of this. I don't have an idea at this time on what to do. Like, I feel like the tech space is kind of going stale. So I don't want to abandon it. I know there'll be people jumping ship, right? There'll be different creators that maybe switch up and they do car vlogs, they do car videos, or they do gaming, or they do traveling vlogs and stuff like that. I don't want to abandon that, but at the same time too, I also don't want to change the dynamic of like how I do videos. I guess what really just kind of like sparked it in my head. Hang on 1 second. I gotta take this call. Hello?
Hey, did you get my message?
No. On where?
Me?
No.
On chat?
On chat? Okay, hold on. Hold on.
Fine.
Okay, so you're gonna stay till 3.
Yeah, he needs to go do something for the house that he's selling in Pennsylvania. He asked me to do the favor for him. He's like, I wouldn't ask you, but you're the only person that I can trust.
Sorry about that. My wife is staying a little bit longer today at work than expected. Uh, one of her people on her team um, needs to do something, so she's gonna cover the rest of his shift. She was supposed to get off at 1, but she's gonna get off. She's only staying an extra 2 hours of work, so I appreciate that, Gene. I appreciate that, but like, I guess like this is just like my declaration of like why I do things the way that I do it, and I do it this way, like I've explained to others. Um, I'm not a media news outlet or trying to be one. I always felt like the value in what I bring video wise is just being a straight shooter. Just tell it like it is. Um, so yeah, I was like looking at all my past videos and I'm like, that has been the one constant thing that you can always know about the content that I create is that I shoot straight with everybody. I don't need to sugarcoat anything. I don't need to over glorify anything, I may try it, right? Like I may install pretty little lights in this room just to have a dynamic in the background, but the overall thing is not like you do want to make good quality videos, but I guess my perception of good quality videos is what you're saying and what you're talking about versus how many jump cuts do you have, how many zoom ins do you have, how many transitions do you have. So like right now I'm still recovering from the damage of YouTube Shorts to my channel. And I also want to clarify that because some people just don't believe that, if you're making shorts and you're making YouTube videos, they could clash and they could actually hurt your channel. And it is true. If you do make YouTube shorts and you make long form content on YouTube, if you could do it right, they won't clash. One will help the other. But that's never a guarantee because while you are making short form content and long form content, the way that it doesn't hurt your channel is if those that watch your short form content and subscribe because of your short form content also keep an open mind and go and check out your long form content. And so they become just a full out fan and watch both your short and your long form content. Then you have a pretty good marriage there with both tools. But if you're making long form content and you're making short form content and people are watching the short forms and they're subscribing because of it, and all they do is watch your short form, they don't ever touch your long form. Now you're destroying your channel with short form content because the algorithm on YouTube is learning that people are more interested in your shorts than they are in your videos. So when you upload a video, the algorithm's not going to push that video for people to see. But if you upload shorts, it's going to push that video. And like I said before, and I think I have to clarify this so people understand, while I don't do this strictly and solely for the money, I do earn money for my videos here on YouTube. And that money goes to my kids. So yes, when I post a video, it's monetized. When I live streamed, it's monetized because it's not monetized for me. It's monetized for me to get my kids things. I use this as another source to be able to throw in, not into the pot to pay bills and stuff like that. That's what we have jobs for. That's what we work jobs for. We work crazy, insane hours these days, to earn a paycheck, to be able to pay bills and stuff like that. This is the reason why I am at this time trying to develop a game that I can post up, people can play, it'll have downloadable content. Of course you're going to have to buy those DLCs, but it's a way of making some more money and trying to move up in life to a more comfortable spot. And so I'm trying those things, right? Like I've never been a person that's been afraid to try anything. Not everything that I do is gold. There are things that I do and I fail. And I use that as a lesson to not make that same mistake again, or try not to make that same mistake. Because sometimes I make the same mistake, Advanced features as in, live streaming and stuff like that? Or, I mean, what do you mean by advanced features? Because advanced features that I know of come at a form of when you're either consistently uploading videos for like, I think it's 60 days of videos uploaded, or you submit a copy of a photo ID to verify your identity. And if you do that, then the advanced feature should be unlocked. But you can live stream on your channel, so you should have that unlocked already. At least from my understanding, I would think that you would have the ability to have those things opened up, like longer video times of upload. It's like you could upload longer than 15 minutes of video. You can upload longer than that. You could upload half an hour video. Yeah, this YouTube stuff can be very tricky to navigate. I've had conversations with B-Tech about how YouTube Shorts nearly destroyed my channel, and he went ahead and he did the same thing. He was just like, he's gonna see if he can recover his channel back to the way it was before. So, like, what advanced features in uploading are you do you not have access to? Like, shout out to the channel members, by the way. You guys are on the little ticker below, but I'm going to take that off for right now. Yeah, so, in all seriousness, the things that I do on YouTube, the videos that I make, I'm going to keep making them. I may change up a little bit of things, but for the most part, I mean, it's still going to be the same thing. If I do a day in a live video, it's usually just, when I'm out and about. I'm not going to film for 24 hours because I just sometimes don't remember to film things. Like, if you've seen like some of my past a day spent with this phone or a day in the life with this phone, you guys may have noticed there's like, when I'm working, when I'm doing my side hustles for money and stuff like that, and then there's like constant video clips within a span of 3 hours. But then after that, you guys may notice, like, once I'm done working and I'm back home with my kids, there's like a large gap in time, right? Like, I'll jump from like a video clip that I recorded at 1:30 p.m. and then the next video clip after that in the vlog is like at 5 p.m. right? So a large time gap, and that's just because when I'm around my kids, we tend to joke around, laugh, watch movies together, or just do something together. And my kids want my undivided attention. So they don't want me to pull out my phone and record a vlog clip for the vlog. So there's that large gap of time. So that's the reason why I don't do a full 24 hours with a certain phone clip type thing. Because there's times where I do things with my kids and they just want me. They just want their dad. They don't want their YouTube dad. They don't want their tech dad. They don't want none of that. They just want their dad. And I give them that. I oblige, They're my children. I love them. So I'll still make the videos the same way I've been making them. Not too much as into, like trying to over glorify the videos that I make and such. I don't want to do that. That just seems pretty weird. To like try and fit in with what everybody else is doing, because like the end game goal on YouTube is to set yourself different from other people, like to have some sort of value to what you make that other people can't replicate. It's really hard because today, even on any social platform that you're on, you are buried amongst an obscured amount of just posts and things like that that's out there. You know, you can post something on Threads, but you got like millions of people that's posting at the exact same time as you, and the algorithms that they rely on to get this stuff in front of the eyes of readers, you know, of course it's gonna choose the, you know, like the highest followed um, profiles. It's gonna do that because it's easier for the algorithm to push that, because it knows that like a lot of people follow it, so it knows that it needs to get that in the eyes of just about as many people as it can. Versus like somebody that's, you know, not that big of, you know, of followers, it has to try and learn what your post is about and who it's for. So that in a way, to sum it up in a nutshell, algorithms are lazy. You know, they don't want to put in the work in finding your audience. They want you to find your own audience and build your following, and then it will help move your stuff for eyes to see. And to me, that's such a stupid concept. Because like when a lot of these social platforms started to introduce using an algorithm to get your content in front of people's eyes, that was one of the things that they said. The algorithm would help find and match up the right viewers for you, and it would help people looking for for someone to follow and read. It would help them find the right person for them to follow. But how is it doing that when it's only really catering to the larger followers, more because it's more easier to push your stuff? And it's not me picking on larger creators, larger content providers. It's not me doing that. Not picking on them, picking on the algorithm. You know, a lot of experts in social media will tell you that that's just a myth. It's hogwash. This is how the algorithm works, and this is how you could benefit from it. And it's like, yeah, but if you buy into all that self-help, for content creator jargon, when they tell you, oh yeah, it's a myth about the algorithm favoring established, well-known creators. You're just feeling that way because you see them getting all the views and you're getting the leftover table scraps. They try to tell you that that's not real. But then when they give you, the breakdown of the algorithm, one of the things that it tells you, or they tell you, is that, you just have to give the algorithm time because it has to find people to match with you. And it's like, okay, how much time does it need? Because, on a person could be on a platform for 5 years and still not have built them a solid community. Like, one thing is true when it comes to YouTube. One thing is true about YouTube: you have to consistently post, and I don't mean like consistently post one video a day, but you have to show the algorithm that you are in it for the long haul. Even if you upload videos and you only get 1 view, 5 views, 0 views, doesn't matter. I've posted videos that, only got 5 views in the first 24 hours, 10 views in 48 hours. And it wasn't until like 4 or 5 days later after the video was uploaded did it explode. One of the biggest ones that was just a test was the day in the life with the Pixel 4 video. That one exploded immediately. The moment I uploaded that video, I don't know why or what, because I still use the same tags, I still use the same hashtags in the description, all that stuff was still the same. But for some reason, there was people who wanted the Pixel 4, a Pixel 4 video, I guess. So in the first 24 hours, it got, 5,000 views. In the first 48 hours, it got 7,000 views total. 72 hours later, it was at 8,000 views. Now it's plateaued. Now it's sitting at like 9,100 and something views. So almost breaking 10,000 views at, actually, let's go see. Let me go to, Let me go to my YouTube studios and I can go see how much that video's got. So right now, A Day in the Life with the Pixel 4 in 2025, that video has got 9,235 views, 40 comments. I got 248 likes on that video and 9 dislikes. So my likable average is 96.5% on that video. And the Pixel 9a with Android 16 Beta 4.1, that video crawled, below 50 views for the first 3 days it was up. On the 4th day, it started to pick up traction. And 7 days after being uploaded, so a week after being uploaded, then it started to explode. Now sitting at 1,224 views. On that video, I got 20 likes, 4 dislikes, so that's an 83.3% likable average. So yeah, you got to be in it for the long haul. That's one thing I will agree with all the self-help YouTube content stuff. You got to be in it for the long haul. You got to be in it, to even if it seems like that nothing is happening, because technically when you post videos and stuff like that, you are spreading your roots for your YouTube tree to grow. And if you're working on videos and you're uploading and you've uploaded 50 videos in 30 days and you're not seeing a lot of traction, so you decide to just kill your YouTube channel, now you're really starting back over from square. So when it says consistency, you just have to show the algorithm, the actions of that you're in it for the long run. You're in it for the long haul. That's the reality of things. And yeah, some people grow faster than others. Some people go viral. Some people don't go viral. Just stay in it for the long haul. If anything, look at my channel. My channel, like I said, has its ups, it's had its downs. I started off just like everybody else that was new to YouTube, barely getting views, barely getting by. That was from like late 2010 to 2013. It was a constant struggle. From 2013 on up, it started to explode. I started to gain notoriety. I started to gain a following. People started to know that I was there and was making content, tech videos and stuff like that. And that just kept going on and on and on. 2013, 2014, 2015. Up to I would say 2020 is when things started to kind of go downhill for me. Now there's such a following, like on Threads. Threads has a massive community of people that celebrate each other's milestones, right? Because I look at like up and coming content creators, I always see people who post that they made their first $100 on AdSense, and they share that milestone, or they share that they just made it to 50 subscribers. And there's a good community on Threads behind that. So maybe Threads is a good spot for anyone that is starting up on YouTube. Threads by Instagram is probably a good spot to get connected with like-minded creators, but not just only like-minded creators, because you can have people in a different genre, but still support each other. There's a massive amount of support on Threads for YouTube creators. And so that would be probably a good place to really kind of get your feet wet when it comes to content creating, and then trying to find a collective group of people to have friendly competition with, but ultimately support each other. I would say that would be a good spot. X is not so much the good platform anymore to do that on. And there's nothing against X. It's just that X has so many users, and it's so it's like sardines in a can, that it's really hard for somebody, especially if you're not paying for verification, right? Verified subscribers on X will have their content shown to more people. But I can tell you the reason why I never resubscribed for verification. When I'm on X and I post a post, just a thought, I get an average of 45 views on that post. If I pay for the blue check mark verification, yes, it does show my stuff to more people, but a post that would normally get 45 views on X would end up getting 124 views. So there's not really a significant jump. When I hear that if you subscribe to a verified user profile, that your content will get pushed to the front and you'll be seen by more people. Okay, well, I know that there's millions of people on X, so a realistic ballpark figure number for me is if my normal post without verification only garnered 45 views, then I'm expecting with verification that my post garner 1,000 views. It doesn't. So that's why I stopped paying for X verification. The fact that, X verification allows you to do several things, right? You're supposed to get more views on your post. You're supposed to be able to post longer videos, right? Longer than 2 minutes and 20 seconds. You're supposed to have permission to live stream from third-party platforms like Restream or StreamYard, right? If you have verification. But it's like, why am I going to pay you for verification? There's no guaranteed kickback, right? Like, you can monetize on X and make money on there, but it's really, really, really hard to do. You got to have 10,000 followers. You got to have all this stuff. So it's like, I am going to invest more than 10 grand into verification on a monthly basis or even an annual basis. And there's no guarantees that, I will have 10,000 followers in 1 year's time. Some people can do it. Some people can't. The whole thing, reflecting on my years as content creating, the few times that I had burnouts, and the thing that I would advise to people who are just coming into the YouTube game, the one thing I will tell you guys is, always keep it fun. Keep it fun. Keep it something that you love to do. And if you're wondering if your videos are good, the best way to judge if your videos are good is watch your own video. If you can watch your own video and be entertained by yourself from beginning to end of video, then your video is going to do decently. Okay, if you're not willing to I put two words together. If you're not willing to sit through an entire video you created to be entertained by it, then why do you think anyone else would sit through the entire video and be entertained by it? I can tell you guys right now that I look at a lot of analytics when it comes to my video performances, and I know what the hit to shit ratio is on them. If 100 people watch a video, only 10 people that watch that video actually watch it from beginning to end. And the other 90 people, maybe 45 of those people watch the first 2 minutes of my video. And then the rest will watch 1 minute and 10 seconds of that video. Okay. So yeah, with me, the hit to shit ratio is pretty bad. But and the reason why that's happened to me, and this is how I say that, my YouTube channel got nearly destroyed, is because when I tell you guys that the hit to shit ratio, is 10 out of 100, which means that, like I said, those 10 people actually watch my video from beginning to end. It's because in the past 2 years, when I was uploading shorts as a side thing, thinking I could use shorts like a trailer to introduce a long form video, people were subscribing to my channel based on the shorts and were expecting short form content. So anything that's long form is not their forte. They can only handle me in small doses. And that's why I say that my channel was nearly destroyed. It really messed a lot with my analytics. It messed a lot with things, right? Like on the recent video that I just dropped, the Pixel Showdown, Pixel 6 versus Pixel 9a, right? So far, YouTube is rating that video of mine 2 out of 10 within the first 48 hours of a video release. So out of all the videos that I've released and how they performed in the first 48 hours, this video is ranking 2 out of 10. Um, my impressions click-through rate is 5.7% on that video, but the average view duration is 2 minutes and 55 seconds. So about half the video is being watched before people click away from it. You know, and that's where I need to start focusing on, is staying true to the type of content that I create, but also providing something that keeps people engaged, that keeps people entertained from beginning to end. That's the goal. So if I could move up my average duration on any video, right? Say, you know, because that video was a 6-minute video, right? So close to 3 minutes of view times watched before click off. You know, they're watching at least close to the halfway point of the video, and then they're clicking away, so they're not finishing the entire video. This is why, like, you know, I've done this experiment, right? Like in the past, I used to say, you know, if you made it this far into the video, hashtag real one, or that type of thing. I wanted to see how many people were actually making it to the end of the video. And I was trying to figure out if a 10-minute video is what I should be producing, or a 5-minute video, or a 4-minute video. Like, what was it that my viewers wanted? How long of a length of a video do they want? You know, which of course kind of like shifted and screwed the way that I talk. Some people say, yo, man, you talk way too fast. But in a time where I was trying to just make 3-minute videos, 4-minute videos, right? Something quick, so that way I would get the full view of a viewer, right? If viewers were averaging on the last 100 videos I made, if their average watch time on those videos was like 2 minutes, 55 seconds to 3 minutes, then I would condense a video to 3 minutes so they're watching the full thing. They're watching a whole video, which then helps out my channel, because then YouTube's like, okay, the viewers are watching the whole video, so we'll push his channel, his videos more. And when you have a lot to say, you want to get everything into that video. Sometimes 3 minutes is not enough to convey your thoughts. And so then you learn to start speaking fast and try to talk fast, try to get people to understand exactly what you're saying and each topic that you're talking about, and trying to get, you know, this aspect into it, that aspect into it, and be able to like chronologically and methodically plan it all out, so that way you can actually say everything that you want to say about the product in a short amount of time. I had to learn to talk that fast, try and condense everything in and get everything that I wanted to convey in that video. It's very hard to do. Sometimes it's exhausting. And then it's become such second nature that I ended up doing it all the time, even in long videos, which doesn't help the fact that I'm ADHD. It doesn't help me at all, because then that's where you get a lot of the uhs and ums and awkward pauses as I'm explaining something, is because I have, you know, I'm ADHD, so I already have the lack of focus. And then I'm running my brain 1,000 miles per hour, so I could try to make my mouth fly 1,000 miles per hour, thinking that I have to consolidate all this information into a short video span. And I don't really need to. Like, this is like a 1 hour, you know, just off the laptop live stream, you know. And yeah, I'm able to carry an entire conversation from beginning to end, even though they're like different topics, you know. Like for a second, you know, we were talking about wrestling. Coffee, what's up, man? Welcome in. Even though we were talking about wrestling in the beginning, you know, so it's not like I don't have the ability to do really long form content and be able to, you know, continue discussing stuff. It's just over all these little things I was trying to do to help my channel in its growth, has caused some damage, right? Some people don't like it when I talk too fast. They can't understand me, or it's just, you know, it's just mind blowing to them and they click away. So yeah, trying to engage and find the right length of a video for my audience, you know, has been very challenging. Some people like if I do an 8-minute to a 10-minute video and explain as much as I can. Other people just want things to be straight to the point, get in and get out type of thing, right? So I always watch like the average view duration of videos. I watch my analytics closely. So I'm not picking on those who watch my videos by saying, by pointing out that I do know that they don't watch every bit of the video. I know that they don't. They may click on the video because they want to give me the thumbs up, right? So they click on the video starts playing, they hit the thumbs up to give me the thumbs up, but they can't watch the video because they're busy with work, or they're busy with family, or they're just busy doing something and they plan to watch the video later. They'll come back later and watch the video, but then they forget to, because life. I understand that. I have no problems with that whatsoever. Like, I am always trying to shift myself for the better of what you guys want and what you guys want to see. I got people telling me what happened to the short form content. When am I going to upload shorts again? I have a shorts channel for just short form content. And if that's what you want, then I would say subscribe to that, because then you'll get what you want there. Short videos, 3 minutes or less, which won't damage my analytics for my main channel. In all reality, I don't even really consider myself a content creator, because I'm not really looking to have this broadcast style, this video producing style that you see a lot of, other content creators use in their daily videos, or, their weekly uploads or anything like that. I just like to get in front of a camera and talk about a subject that I feel like talking about at that moment. That's all I've ever been. And that's all I ever will be. Because I don't want to be the MKBHD or the Linus Tech Tips. I don't want to be those guys. I do want to have that level of success, but I don't want to get there by being them. I want to get there by being me. Like, my journey is the answer to the ultimate question. Can you just be yourself and be super successful in what you're passionate about? And I'm going to be able to find that out, because I can't give you an answer right now because my journey is not done yet. On the day that I feel like, okay, enough's enough, I tried YouTube, I gave it my best shot, it didn't go the way that I would have hoped, but I am appreciative of all the successes I've gained from it. When I'm ready to put this to bed, that's when I can give you the answer to that question. Can you be successful being who you are and nothing else more? Yeah, there's a lot out there. People that are trying to be content creators have to understand something. 10 years ago, when I started my journey on YouTube, there was a lot of YouTubers in different genres of YouTube, right? Comedy, skit creating, musicians, gamers, vloggers, like in real life vloggers, not doing those trolling and stuff like that, but just, sharing their day-to-day life with no bullshitting people, not trying to make their life look overly, extravagant when it wasn't. You had a lot of YouTube creators, but there was a lot of genres, and they had their fill of people. But if you looked at from 10 years ago to now, the growth of YouTube creators is like times 4,000, So it's kind of that thing, right? When you have a lot of chiefs and not a lot of Indians, right? You don't really have a good structured tribe. And that's literally what's happening today. There are a lot of people who are just like, I don't want to push a 9-to-5 job. I'm going to become a YouTuber. And they start recording, they start making videos, and start uploading. So there are more creators watching each other's videos than there are just a person who's like, I'm interested in that phone. I'm going to go check out some YouTubers and see what they had to say about that phone. They're not a regular person. There's not a lot of regular people watching the videos. There are more creators watching the videos. Why is it doing that? Oh, okay. That was weird. I have two monitors, and like it was only reading my right monitor. It wasn't reading my left one. I was like, why not? I have two monitors for a reason on my PC. I have two monitors for a reason. Makes it easier when I'm doing a lot of research and stuff like that. It is cool. One thing I do like about YouTube Studios, it does give you some handy it gives you some handy things. It some handy tips and stuff like that. So one of the ideas, because I don't really have an official trailer for my channel, it's telling me create a channel trailer. You know, first impressions matter. You can win the hearts of unsubscribed viewers with a captivating trailer. But I'm not, I mean, like, what do I do for a trailer? I just sit there on the camera and, hi, my name's Tito, and I like tech, and I really like talking about it. So come on over to my channel and watch some tech videos. Like, that just, that's just, to me, that doesn't work. To me, it doesn't work. I don't know. Channel trailers don't really work for me. And if I make a trailer that has, no dialogue, just music, I mean, that's just kind of boring. So I don't know. That's that idea to make a channel trailer has been in the parking lot of my things to do. I kid you not, over 4 years now. 4 years. 4 years, and I still haven't made a trailer. What was it? But like I said, I'm charging up the Pixel 7a. I'm gonna update it to Android 16. I'm gonna make a video about if there's any issues involving Android 16 and the Pixel 7a. Has it changed, its behavioral patterns for the good or for bad? I like letting people know that, right? So that way, because full-fledged Android 16, I don't believe is completely out yet for everybody. I think, because the Android 16 that I have is, yes, it's a QPR 1, but it's beta 1. So it's still beta. There's still people that have, like my wife has her Pixel 9a. Hers is still on Android 15. So, yeah, that's what I've been focused into is some of the older phones that I have, showing you guys that they still, perform and function pretty good. I don't believe that people should be upgrading every year. Unless you're a tech enthusiast that has to have the latest and greatest, and by all means, upgrade every year. But like to the average people out there, they don't have they don't have to follow trends. They don't have to do what everybody else is doing. They don't have to upgrade every year. They could upgrade, every 2-3 years, 4 years from now. Older flagship phones that are like 4 years old or even 5 or 6 years old are still good today. And anything from a year to 2 year old mid-range device is still good today. For what we use our phones for, right? Social media and stuff like that doesn't require such a high-powered phone. And that's the thing today too, right? A lot of these OEMs, they know they got us on the hamster wheel. They know all we got to do is just throw in some new specs. Maybe change the way that the camera sensors are arranged. We'll change that. We'll change it from a square to a pill shaped with 2 stackable sensors rather than, paralleled. What else did they do? AI. We'll give it more AI features. We'll give it, more RAM. Just a little bit more RAM. Nothing too drastic, right? They're not going to go And like compared to last year's model that had like 12 gigabytes of RAM, give you an updated model this year with 32 gigabytes of RAM. No, it'll be like 16 gigs of RAM. Very minor upgraded hardware components and some software tweaks. And then charge you over $1,000 for the upgrade. But don't worry about paying over $1,000. You don't want to pay over $1,000. Trade in your phone. We'll give you a trade-in credit. It's almost like buying a car these days. It's almost like doing a business deal and buying a car, financing a car. But instead you're financing a phone. That's the state of where purchasing smartphones is at today. So I make videos showing people that you don't have to upgrade. You can still hold on to. You can still use an iPhone 11 Pro Max. It's still supported with the latest software. So you're not really missing a whole lot. Which, these OEMs, they figured that out. That's why they started implementing things like the iPhone 16's got that dedicated camera action button, which a lot of people don't really use. But they put it there to say, hey, you're on the iPhone 15, jump over to the iPhone 16. They still haven't gotten Apple Intelligence. Like, Apple is light years behind in AI. They don't have anything real and genuine to give to their fan base of their ecosystem. They don't really have anything. This is why, like, on my iPhones, I have Gemini installed on them. I use Gemini for AI tasks and stuff like that. You can use Chat GPT or any other AI modal out there that works best for you. But it's just like yeah. But the iPhone 11 Pro Max is still a really good phone. It really is. And an iPhone 12, it's got not the best battery, but as far as everything else, it's still updated. Its cameras are still good. Its audios are still good. It's still a fun device to use. I've been using the Pixel 6 for 2 days. That's been my main device. I've put down my Pixel 9a, which is why I love Google Fi so much, because I can have data-only SIM cards. And like I said, my family calls me on Google Meets. We do audio and video calling on Google Meets. We text each other on Google Chat. So, yeah, I don't really need to always carry my Pixel 9a, which has my main actual phone number from Google Fi on it. And I don't give that number out only unless you're family to me. But most of my family will call me on Google Meets. We do video calling in my family. We do video calling so we can see each other. But we're taking that step ahead and moving away from basic phone calls. Why just hear my voice in a conversation when I can video call you? If I'm out and about, I can do it on my phone. When I'm at home, I can do it through my Pixelbook and talk to you this way. Where not only are you hearing my voice, but now you can see me. You can see my demeanor. You can see my expressions. So my family has updated to that because my sister and my family in Hawaii are on iPhones. That's why I use an iPhone, is to FaceTime them. And then if they want to FaceTime me, and let's say I don't have my iPhone with me, well, they can always send me a link that I click on that opens up my browser and connects me on the browser version of FaceTime to them. So there's a way for them to talk to me if I don't have my iPhone on me. So I'm heavily invested into video calling because I do want to see, and I know I'm reaching here and I'm just being a nerd, but I do want to see a future where we are making 3D holographic calls like in Star Wars. I would love to see that in future time. We're making steady strides in technology today that is furtherly advancing what was once deemed as, impossible has now become possible. The things that we said was too crazy to do has become the logical thing to do. So in hindsight, with the growth of technology, we have advanced quite a bit. Look back, just think. one day when you have the downtime to think to yourself, look back 10 years ago, and then ask yourself this in your head. 10 years ago, would you have ever thought that AI would have existed in 2024, 2025? Did you ever believe that we would actually have working artificial intelligence, especially tied into mobile phones, right? Because 10 years ago, we were just getting off the ground with different design language phones, right? I mean, we didn't really have foldable technology to that extent, but we did have, a smartphone that can turn into a mini tablet, right? The Kyocera Echo. Of course, it was just like configuring, popping out the additional display, unfolding it to where the ridges locked together and you had two displays. Of course, you had a center border. There wasn't foldable technology back then for displays, but still, the concept was there, you know. We had flat out QWERTY keyboard Android phones. We had dual sliders. We had, smartphones that, had an outer display, and then there's a clamshell. You flip it open, and then you have a full QWERTY keyboard. And yeah, back then they were just trying to establish, an identity, right? Then everything pretty much was like the same, right? LG, Motorola, Apple, Google, Samsung, they were all making the same, their same design phones, right? And then it became the battle of the cameras. Who were taking the best pictures, who were taking the best zoom pictures, right? Who could zoom in and get the full surface of the moon without, heavy pixelation or like artifacts or noise in your photos, right? Now we're in the battle of AI. Who's having the best AI? Like, people are all like, Galaxy AI is crazy insane. Yeah, if it was its own thing, but Galaxy AI is based on the premise of Gemini. Apple and Apple Intelligence is still not a thing yet. They've talked about it. We keep getting little hints of a future with Apple Intelligence and what they intend to do with AI, but we really never got it. Now, of course, people are like, Apple's light years behind, and they are, but they could be developing their own AI, and maybe another 2 or 3 years before it comes out. But when it comes out, it's going to be really good, and all the Apple people are going to praise it because now they have something to challenge Gemini. And then it's going to be the wars between Apple Intelligence versus Gemini, and we're going to hear a lot of that jargon over the next 7 to 10 years. Right now, that's where the battlefront is for mobile phones, is artificial intelligence. What can artificial intelligence do for you? Which is why, I started a segment. I haven't done one yet, but I'm probably going to do one later this week, which is Fun with AI. Where I use AI to build something funny, and then I show you guys while I'm doing it. I'll probably build another game. I'm thinking about an idea of using AI to build a game that's just like Snake from Nokia phones. And, I'll probably give it my own little panache on top of it, and then I will play it on the live stream in front of all you guys can see it. That's in the works, but yeah, I'm going to start doing these Fun with AI segments. And they're always going to be live streams. They're not going to be like videos. And I am not, self-taught knowledgeable just yet to teach people how to use Gemini Pro 2.5. I'm not that knowledgeable yet. I had trimmed my beard, and I was like, I guess there was one that was still attached to my beard that I had, like a piece of hair that I cut that was attached to my beard. And it just it fell out the corner of my mouth. I was like, what is that weird feeling? I just felt that right now. Yeah, it's a little piece that I trimmed up. Try not to have a chia pet bush grow out of the side of my face. Anyhow. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. It's been over an hour now. I do gotta start getting to work here. So if you guys made it all the way here, hashtag real one. Thanks for being a part of the show, for hanging out with me, for talking with me. Thank you, Coffee, for being here. Thanks, Gene, for being here. The other people that popped in and out, thank you for stopping by. Bobby Warren, Tim, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you guys. And yeah, I'll see you guys later this week with Fun with AI segment. So keep a lookout for that when that's going to go down. Yeah, I'll talk to y'all later.